Good afternoon, hello and welcome to the Omni Coalition News Show, aka TOCNS. This is a dive into the weird, obscure, bizarre, and other words for strange world of notable events, weather, and sports. Covering topics seldomly, if ever, seen from most news sources these days. Join us! During a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss, for the most part. For links to the articles, the music in the background, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and you are you. Let's jump right into the news today, shall we? Actually, no, today is Freya's Day, aka Friday, September 1st, 2023. I forgot to do that during the history show earlier. Whoops. Anyway, let's move on up into the news here. From Oddity Central, we have grilled ice is apparently a real street snack in China. Alright. Videos of people grilling ice cubes and seasoning them. Let me lower the volume down a little bit just in case. So let's see here. Videos of people grilling ice cubes and seasoning them with sauces and spices have been doing the rounds on Chinese social media and leaving people with unanswered questions. Alright. Move over, stir-fried stones. Yeah, that's right. That actually was a news article before. It's time for grilled ice cubes to enjoy their time in the social media spotlight. According to a number of news reports from China, the bizarre street snack was made famous by a short clip shot at a street food stall in Nanjing, Jiangxi province. In it, we can see large cubes of ice being cooked on an open grill and seasoned with sauces and spices before being served on a plate. We can't see anyone actually enjoying the dish, but it is apparently very popular on hot summer days, especially since it's offered as a free treat. So that's really, how do you cook ice? Like, after the original video went viral, Chinese news outlets managed to track down the street food stall operator and learn more about his popular dish. Apparently, the man came up with the idea for grilled ice on a hot day as a way to cool people off. It was meant as a joke, but people ended up loving it, so he kept making it. The bizarre street food doesn't cost anything, but people willing to try it, or people wanting to try it, and there are reporting plenty, have to request it in advance. Wow, so now there's already like a waiting line? But like, how is this possible? Maybe the moisture adheres the spices and such around it as some kind of shell? That's a quick video, wow. So, that is interesting. Huh. They look like little burgers with sesame seeds on top for a second there. Well, that's wild, you know. For further reading on this, please go to the underbar of the description below. Links to this and all other articles. Like as I always do, I just read a couple paragraphs to get you all interested. Go give them the foot traffic. They put in the effort to making this article. I'm just reading it for y'all. More from Oddity Central. The giant floating island of Lake Chippewa has to be pushed by boats almost every year. Wisconsin's Lake Chippewa is home to a giant floating island that sometimes moves around, blocking a critically important bridge and needs to be moved by local boat owners working in unison. Lake Chippewa, aka the Chippewa Flowage, was created in 1923 by flooding a large swamp. Soon after that, many of the peat bogs started raising to the surface and became perfect growing spots for plant seeds carried by wind and wild birds. As the years passed, plants from grasses to trees began to grow, and their roots actually caused these floating bogs to grow. Today, they vary from the size of a parking space to several acres, with the largest of them the so-called 40-acre bog to the west side of the lake featuring mature trees. Almost every year, dozens of local boat owners team up to push it away from a bridge connecting the east and west sides of the lake. Well, why don't you anchor it then? Like, I mean, like, I know that's going to be difficult and weird, and you're probably going to have to, like, go in there for maintenance every now and then, but utilizing boats to push it continuously just seems like a ridiculous process and a massive waste of fuel, too. Like, why waste all that fuel when you can just go out there, put some anchors, you know, like, I don't know, a couple dozen anchors, or like maybe a dozen, or I don't know, depending on things. I'm no bog anchorage scientician, like, so that is wild. They're literally pushing an entire like landmass because it's not connected to anything. That is crazy. Let's move on up here. Indian government workers wear motorcycle helmets as protection from falling debris. Oh goodness. Government employees working in a decrepit building in Telangana, India, have taken to wearing motorcycle helmets to prevent slabs of concrete from the ceiling falling on their heads. Why do you work there? What? A video of several male employees at the development office of Jagatal district in Telangana wearing motorcycle helmets while working has gone viral on Indian social media. Ironically, the development office is tasked with developing the district by giving the internet to villagers and creating infrastructure, but the workplace is in such a terrible state that workers have to protect themselves against falling debris. Local media reported that the staff have been demanding relocation to a safer office building after a colleague nearly suffered brain damage when a cement slab of ceiling fell. A slab of cement fell from the ceiling. Wow, my brain's becoming dyslexic here. But wow, so they're just chilling there wearing motorcycle helmets. What if something falls on your hand and breaks your hand? Like, I mean, a hand's not a brain, so it's still a hand though. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, they should move seriously. What else do we got here? Japanese company creates the world's blackest gel pen. Huh. Japan's Mitsubishi Uniball 1 series black gel pen has been recognized as the world's blackest gel pen by Guinness World Records. When it comes to the world's blackest paint, there is no competing with Vanta Black, but pen gel is a whole other matter. Mitsubishi Pencil Company Limited now holds the record for the blackest gel pen thanks to an innovative type of pigment containing particles that seal the paint inside. When writing on paper, it can reduce the penetration of the gel into paper fibers, making the color look more standard than other gel pens. So, okay, is that like a zoomed in something, or what is that? Okay, whatever. Science quotes. The newly developed Uniball gel pen changes the ratio of solid to liquid components in the gel, making it possible for the liquid component to quickly permeate the paper surface while leaving the solid coloring material on the paper surface. So even though the ink remains quick drying, the solid components on the surface give the writing a more saturated look. So that's interesting. Well, leave it to Japan. Brazilian man spends 28 years of his life legally dead. Huh? A 71-year-old man from Brazil's TOCNS region was pronounced dead in 1995. Based on the testimony of his ex-wife and 2 witnesses, he spent the next 28 years of his life legally dead. On August 16th, Manuel Marciano da Silva finally had his death certificate annulled after a 2-year-long court battle. To the Brazilian authorities, he had been dead and buried in the public cemetery of Agostinópolis in TOCNS for 28 years, but this only became a problem for the man himself about 2 years ago when he couldn't collect his pension and couldn't get access to free healthcare based on his insurance. That's when he started investigating his death and learned that it had been his ex-wife and 2 witnesses who declared him dead to authorities. Whoa, so he didn't even do it. Whoa, what the hell? What is going on? It's unclear that why Manuel's ex-wife declared him dead back in '95, but he claims he only found out about it in 2012 when he tried to vote in a local election, only to be told that he was not on the list and that he appeared as deceased. At the time, he really didn't care too much about it, but in recent years, his deceased status started affecting his life more significantly. Yeah, the healthcare stuff. Wow, what the hell, dude? Like, how can you do that without a body? And without a body, you need some kind of, like, certificate. Like 3 people should not be enough. That's ridiculous. There needs to be, like, there should be, like, eyewitnesses from, like, the police department, coroner witnesses that they, like, well, maybe not, like, bodies, but, like, I don't know. That's going to be, that leads down a whole thinking path right there. That is just, what the hell, though? Anyway, what else do we got? A company is working on synthetic alcohol that has none of the negative side effects of the real thing. Well, then why are you doing it? Like, you just want your stuff to taste like ass? Like, I don't like drinking alcohol because of the taste. It helps me fall asleep, Anyway, London-based GABA Labs is working on a type of synthetic alcohol called Alcarel, which reportedly provides the relaxing effects of alcohol without hangovers, balance deficiencies, or any of its other negative side effects. Okay, relaxation. Okay, I understand that. That makes sense. Gamma And the aminobutyric acid, aka GABA, is a neurotransmitter that blocks certain signals in the brain, thus producing the calming effect. When alcohol reaches the brain, it binds to GABA receptors and produces the same effects, relaxing and calming people down. The problem with alcohol is that it also has other negative side effects as well, like hangover and movement disabilities, speaking and thinking problems, etc. GABA Labs is currently working on a type of synthetic alcohol called Alcarel that is supposedly to provide all the positive effects of alcohol consumption, but none of the bad ones. Well, I mean, that takes away the health effects, but still, like, alcoholics, or now alcoholics, as they're going to be called. Like, I wonder if I'm going to go down in history as calling that. Like, they're going to just keep on keeping on. Like, or maybe this could be a way to help them get off of alcohol. Like, you know, gives them the effects that they want, but they're not, like, blitzerly drunk, you know, and they don't end up with, like, liver disease and lupus and stuff like that. Like, huh. This is interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on this. Like, what else do we got? This is the world's most expensive piece of cheese. Believe it or not, there's 3 cheese articles in today's video. Actually, 2 of them are about the same topic. But anyway, a Spanish restaurant recently paid 30,000 euros or $32,800 for a 2.2 kilogram or 4.85 pound piece of cheese, or piece of handmade cheese, that's setting a new world record for the most expensive piece of cheese. Wow. Every year in the last week of August, the town of Las Arenas de Cabrales hosts a contest where the best pieces of Cabrales cheese are auctioned off to the highest bidder. This year, Lagar de Colodo, a restaurant in Oviedo, Spain, was paid a whopping 30,000 euros for a piece of Cabrales cheese made by hand from cow and goat milk and matured for several months in a cave in Los Picos de Europa Mountains. Wow. Made by the Los Perros Cheese Factory from Puy Cabrales. Whoa. The 2.2 kilogram piece of cheese was selected by the jury as the best piece of cheese of 15 producers who participated in the contest and was the most coveted in the subsequent auction. Wow. So, I mean, I'm a guy, I like cheese. Cheese is cool. I'd like to try this piece of cheese, but it's a little bit expensive for me. But hey, you know, it's cool. What else do we got here? I saw a video about this actually earlier. This has been really making the rounds, so I don't need to really read too much into this unless anybody doesn't really know much about it. This is an awful thing. Man annoyed by neighbor noises injects chemical cocktail under their front door. So basically, this guy was mad that their infant was making noises. It's an infant, you know, and like they got into some legal battle or something, I think, and then now afterwards he was like putting droplets, like using like a baster or something, because he was actually, I think he was a chemistry student. He was studying chemistry or something like that. But well, right there. So a Florida man was arrested. Florida, of course. After a hidden camera caught him injecting a clear liquid under his neighbor's front door because he was annoyed by the noise they made. Zooming Lee, a former PhD chemistry student at the University of South Florida, reportedly used the laboratory at his former school to mix a cocktail of dangerous chemicals, load it up into syringes, and then inject it into the home of his upstairs neighbor through a crack in their front door. A subsequent test showed that the 36-year-old man used a combination of methadone and hydrocodone, 2 well-known opioid medications. It is unclear what Lee hoped to achieve by repeatedly injecting the substances into his neighbor's home, but it's easy to assume that he did not have good intentions. He was arrested after his neighbors, who had become exasperated by the bizarre smell in their room, installed a hidden camera outside their front door. So yeah, they got this guy in action. And this is all over the baby crying. So this is just ridiculous. Like, some people just need to be just sent into space, never to return. Hey, Elon, we got a job for you. Moving on up to UPI, $500,000 lottery winner shares the wealth with store workers. That is awesome. A Kentucky man who won $500,000 prize from a scratch-off lottery ticket celebrated his good fortune by handing out $100 each to some workers at the store where he bought the ticket. That's cool. Daniel Riffett of Union told Kentucky lottery officials he was originally going to buy a fast play ticket from the vending machine at Meyer on Hudson Road in Florence, but at the last moment he changed his mind and bought a precious metals titanium scratch-off ticket. And then he went ahead and did what he did. So that's really awesome. Good on you, my friend. Moving on up, shark-chasing seal rams New Zealand kayaker twice. That is terrifying. New Zealand kayaker recording a video of a shark chasing a seal captured video when the shark rammed into his boat and then again. Greg Potter said he was fishing in his pedal-powered kayak a few miles off the coast of Waihau Bay when he saw a commotion in the water that he initially thought was some tuna. Potter got close to the splashing and soon discovered that it was actually a seal being chased through the water by a shark. Potter said it appeared to be a young great white shark, but experts who reviewed the footage said it may also have been a mako. The fisherman said that he tried to stay a safe distance away from the chase, but the seal sped towards his kayak with a shark in hot pursuit. The seal attempted to hide under his kayak. That's not good. So let's take a look at this here. Wow. I would not... Wow. Huh. Run! Run! I don't want to know whether or not the seal got away. I'm just going to be optimistic and hopeful and just tell myself yes, and please don't tell me otherwise. Anybody who says anything in the comments section if the seal died gets a ban. No. You'll get a downvote, though. Moving on up, more from UPI. Mexican City recreates record-breaking ball of queso cheese. Oh, all right. A city in Mexico broke a Guinness World Record by preparing a ball of pulled queso cheese that weighed in at 1,230 pounds. Whoa. That's a heck of a hunk of cheese right there. Carlos Alberto Alboros Lima, municipal president of, P.G.G.Apan Chiapas, confirmed the ball of queso, also known as Oaxaca cheese, Mexico, Oaxaca, I think, officially broke the record of 738.5 pounds, which was set in Acatlan, Hidalgo back in 2022. The queso ball is composed of tightly stretched cords of cheese. Lima said the team creating the ball prepared more than 1,500 pounds of cheese for the attempt, but decided to stop at 1,230 so as to not put too much strain on the machine used to roll the cords. The finished cheese ball measured more than 3 feet in diameter. Holy crap. The cheese was served to attendees at the Vida Major soccer field. Wow. Yeah, that is a big thing of cheese. Whoa, that is awesome. Bruh. I want to try some of that. Oh. What else do we got here? Tennessee woman's 5'8" mullet earns world record. As Ralphie May would say, mullet, 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 mullet. A Tennessee woman who hasn't cut her hair on the back of her head since 1990 earned the Guinness World Record for the longest competitive mullet. Tammy Manis earned the female version of the mullet length record, where the party in the back part of her hair was measured at 5 feet 8 inches long. Manis said she keeps the fronts and sides of her hair short, but has not cut the back since February 9th, 1990. She said she grew a mullet when she was young, inspired by a Girl Until Tuesday's Voices Carry video. That's a good song. And immediately regretted cutting it off in 1989. Well, now she's got it back. Awesome. Wow, that is one hell of a mullet. Moving on up. Ball of ice from the sky crashed through the roof of a California home. Yikes. A large chunk of ice crashed through the roof of a California couple's home, as they said authorities and they said authorities have thus far not been able to tell them where it came from. Jean Leclerc said he was working outside near his truck at about 10:30 p.m. August 8th when the ice chunk crashed through the roof of his Big Bear house and landed in the attic. Leclerc and his wife soon discovered there was a 24-inch diameter hole in the roof and a bowling ball-sized piece of ice in their attic. Leclerc said he initially suspected it was a piece of a meteorite, but now suspects it may have fallen from a plane. So I wonder what that is. Ice balls that fall from airplanes are known as mega cryometers or meteors and have been known to impact the ground several times a year. A suspected cryometeor left a sizable dent in a green at the Bellevue Park Golf Club in Victoria, Australia, back in August 15th. Well, all right. That is an ice chunk. That's weird. Oh. Moving on, up more from UPI. Police encountered modified car with bull riding in the passenger seat. What? Oh, wow. You know what? Let's just watch this video here. What the hell? I wonder if that's legal. Police in Nebraska detailed an encounter with an unusual vehicle that had been modified to allow a Watusi bull to ride in the front passenger seat. The Norfolk Police Division said officers responded to a call about a vehicle on eastbound U.S. Route 275 with a bovine riding shotgun. What the hell? The officers were shocked to discover the full-grown Watusi bull was riding in the full-grown bull. Okay, hold on a second. Whoever wrote that, I'm just giving this to you. So there you go. So, was riding in the passenger seat of a modified car. Area residents said the driver, Lee Mayer, and bull named Howdy Doody are a common sight in the Nile area seats. A video captured by a surprised onlooker who saw Mayer driving the modified car with Howdy Doody in the O'Neill area previously went viral back in 2018. Okay, so this is legal. Very wild. Like, how did you get an animal like that to not freak out and kill people in a vehicle is beyond, like, yeah, they transport them in trailers, but they're in their own thing. This guy is out in the open, you know, wind in his face, like, and those are some scary looking horns. Yikes, look at them. It's just, what's stopping the bull from pissing on his shoulder or something, you know, like, best car entry. Ha. That's wild. What else do we got here? More from UPI. Mystery odor in Ohio City traced back to chemical plants. That is a yikes. A mysterious smell reported by residents of an Ohio City has been tracked to a local chemical company, and officials said it does not pose any health risks to the public. Well, I smell bullshit. Pun not intended, but well received. Hold on, I gotta give myself this. There we go. City of Avon Lake Fire Department said in a Facebook post a gas odor reported across the community resulted from a gasket leak at Lebrizil Advanced Materials. The leak released a vapor identified as ethyl acetate into the air, the department said. The post said that the chemical, a commonly used solvent, quote, has an extremely low odor threshold, meaning a small amount will create an odor, end quote. So, all right. The Lubrizol representative told WJW-TV the issue, quote, was quickly resolved and does not present a health or safety concern, end quote. Well, that's what they said about that train crash in East Palestine. So, which, like, you know, like, what came of all that? Like, you know, I never heard anything more about that. There's this cheese one again, so, like, another article from another source talking about the same thing, you know, try to get multiple viewpoints if possible. And then last but not least, hundreds of goats escape in California neighborhood. A California resident's home security camera captured the moment hundreds of goats scapegoats stampeded through their neighborhood late last night. Christine Slow, who lives in the Ring Mountain neighborhood of Corte Madera, shared Nest camera video showing hundreds of goats running past her house late at night. The goats feasted on vegetation in the area and woke residents and pets with their ruckus, neighbors said. The goat herd is contracted by the city to clear vegetation for fire abatement. So let's watch this. Okay. Well, I wouldn't consider that a stampede, more like a slowly moving herd. But that does look like... That's weird. It is not usual to see that in California. Maybe in New Zealand. But... so they escaped an enclosure at around 2:40 in the morning. Well, alright. Well, that's going to wrap us up here. That shall be it for this show. Once again, please check out the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition, all of our video sharing sites, all of our social medias, our affiliates. Please check everything out. For your dose of different, odd, and unusual news, we stream every Tuesday and Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, which is 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 Central, and 6 Eastern, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you. Until you catch us next Tuesday, or if you're interested in some history, we have a history show that we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time. Every day, that is, except Wednesdays and Thursdays. We have we have the Edge of Disclosure, hoping to start that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And, of course, Kicking the Peanuts, or Cracking the Corn, as I add, Sunday at 3 p.m. And we have quite a bit of subjects to cover with that as well. So, until you catch us next time, wherever that is, whenever that is, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!